How you doing? I'm Darren with ASHKICKIN BBQ. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Today we are talking corn ribs, and you may be wondering what a corn rib is. Well, these kind of went viral back in like February of 2021, I think, and they've kind of made a resurgence as corn ribs and rattlesnake bites. It's the same concept, they're just prepared a little bit differently, and I haven't tried them yet, so we're going to be trying these together. You can decide if they're worth making based off my reaction when we try them. I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you on how I think these are going to be. Now, I can think of a few different ways these I can assume would be delicious, and that is Parmesan garlic corn ribs I think would be amazing, and of course elote corn ribs would be wonderful as well. Today we're going to keep it a little more traditional barbecue flavor and see how it turns out. And then, like I said, you guys can make a decision if they're going to be something you want to make or not. I think these would be a good candidate if you accidentally invite a vegan over for your cookout. You could just cook these up and then they think that you thought of them and whatever. I don't know why you'd accidentally invite a vegan to the cookout, but hey, if you do, I got you covered. So let's bring in and show you how we're going to prep up these corn ribs. All right, so you can see here I have 3 ears of corn, and we're just going to get these prepped up to turn into corn ribs. So what I'm going to do is just kind of cut the end off of here and the end off of about right there, and then we'll just get all of the husk off and the hairs and everything else, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so now that I have my corn on the cob here ready to go, we're just gonna cut this in half. And you wanna be careful when you do this. This is obviously kind of hard to cut through. Keep your hands above the knife, so if you do slip, you're not gonna cut yourself. It is kind of a pain to cut through this. So we're just gonna slowly cut through this, and I think it's gonna be best if we use the tip of our knife here and just slowly come through, maybe even come through the top here. I don't know. Is the juice worth the squeeze on these? There we go. All right. So going from the top seems to be a little bit better. Just be careful. This seems like a good way to cut yourself. And there's actually videos people have posted on how to cut these without harming yourself. So now at this point, we'll just come through and split them again. There we go. And come through one more time. So there we are. Now this is going to be the corn rib right here. If you wanted to do the rattlesnake bites, you would just cut this in half again, and then that kind of looks like a little rattlesnake tail right there. It's up to you however you want to do it. So this is what we're going for today, and you see that one actually broke, so I guess we're going to make some rattlesnake bites and see how they are after all. So, well, this one broke too. All right, so we're just gonna cut them in half, and we'll do this one as the rattlesnake bites, and we'll do the other two as corn ribs. Unless they break, then we're doing all rattlesnake bites. So whatever, like I said, we're learning on this together. We'll see how they turn out, but this is what we're working with. I'm gonna get the rest of these prepped up, and I will bring you right back. All right, so here we are. We have our corn ribs right here. We have the rattlesnake bites right here. And yeah, these better be good because they're kind of a pain in the butt to cut these up and prep up, especially if you're knife shy. Just be really careful cutting these up because they are a little tough to cut up. What you could do is maybe boil them for 10 minutes, soften them up, and that might make them a little easier to cut. I think maybe if I try these again, that's what I'll do. So at this point, we're gonna take some fat. I'm gonna be using duck fat spray here. You can use melted butter, you can use cooking spray, oil, olive oil, whatever you want. You just want to get some fat on here to help the rub stick to our corn ribs and rattlesnake bites. So I'm just going to spray this, and this sprayer is terrible on this duck fat. They always have been awful, but I really like the product, so I continue to use them. But you can see sprayed. I got it over here. I got it over here. It just, there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, this thing is shooting anywhere it wants to. So we're just going to spray this down. Yeah, that's really nice. Thanks, duck fat. I think they'd be able to figure out these nozzles. Oh well, still a wonderful product. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. Duck fat. You just got to make sure you keep the bottles warmer. They definitely spray terribly and don't spray at all. So I'll just kind of get that on there. Everything's looking good there. I'm going to come in with my ASHKICKIN BBQ Honey Chipotle today for these, since we're going for the barbecue flavor. I'm telling you right now, I still can't stop thinking about how these would be with garlic parm. I think they would be amazing. If you guys want to see a garlic parm video, let me know, because I'm going to try it. I just don't know if I'm going to film it, especially because I don't anticipate this video getting a whole lot of views. All right, so we have our corn ribs seasoned up here. We're gonna go get the Lone Star Grill's pellet grill fired up to 350 degrees. Probably let these cook about 30 to 45 minutes. Wanna cook them until they're soft. We want them to be like a fall off the bone corn rib here. So I'm gonna go outside, get the Lone Star Grill's pellet grill fired up, and I'll bring you back when it's time to get these on. We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so the Lone Star Grill's pellet grill is coming up to temperature 350 degrees. We're gonna get our corn ribs on right here, and we're gonna let these go for 45 minutes, and then we'll come out and check them, see how they're looking. But yeah, 45 minutes, 350 degrees. It's still coming up to temp, so I'm not gonna start that 45 minutes until it hits 350 degrees, and I'll bring you back, show you the next step in the process if they're ready for it. But we'll see how these turn out. So rattlesnake bites, corn ribs, that's it. See how we do. See ya in about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, so it has been 45 minutes, and you can see here the kernels have all split just like that and are sticking out individually. That is exactly what you want for these corn ribs. You can see these have curved, and that is also what you're looking for. That's a telltale sign that they are ready to go. So at this point, I'm gonna take a little bit of the SuckleBusters Honey Barbecue Glaze and Finishing Sauce, one of my favorite barbecue sauces. And I'm just gonna hit every one of these here a little bit. And again, I've never done this before. I'm very curious how it's going to be. So we'll play it by ear here. Just run that down. And I'll brush this into. But I love corn on the cob. It is the only way I like to eat my corn. I don't like canned corn or anything like that. So if this is good, well then hey, that's wonderful. But we'll see. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. If it sucks, you'll know. If it's delicious, you'll know. So hit it with a little bit more, and man, this sauce just smells so good when it hits that deflector plate. Just that old school barbecue smell to it. I just love it. All right, so those are sauced up. I'm gonna give them probably 5 minutes just to let that sauce not be so runny, and I'll bring you back and we'll get them off and let them cool and give a taste test. But I gotta be honest, they're looking pretty good. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, and just like that, a few minutes later, these corn ribs, rattlesnake bites, whatever you wanna call them, are done, looking good. I'm gonna bring them inside, let them cool for a few minutes. We'll give them a taste test, and I'm gonna give you my honest, unbiased opinion on these. So we'll see you in the house. All right, guys, so here are our corn ribs, and you can see they actually look pretty good. They smell good. They smell like barbecue. I'm excited to try these, so let's just jump out and do the taste test right now and see how they are. All right, so let's give these corn ribs a try. I'm gonna start off with one of the big ones here, see how we did. Let's do it. I don't know why it works. It shouldn't work. Everything in my mind is telling me that I shouldn't like this, but it's pretty dang good, I'm not gonna lie. It has wonderful flavor from the ASHKICKIN BBQ Honey Chipotle, which I actually really like on corn anyways. That's what I use on my elotes. And so that doesn't surprise me. It's the barbecue sauce on here that surprises me, and just like the overall flavor of it. Yeah, I'm gonna try another bite. Okay, still get the sweetness from the corn. Get a little bit of a kick from my ASHKICKIN BBQ Honey Chipotle rub. And then you get the sweetness from the barbecue sauce, but it's not overwhelming. I'm gonna try one of these little ones because I think they're probably gonna be a little more tender. So let's see how they are. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy them. You know, I think it's going to be on a per person basis as to whether or not everyone likes them. But I like them. They're kind of nice little appetizers. You can throw them on your plate with your brisket or whatever else. But yeah, they're very, very interesting. It tastes like barbecue, but it's also delicious corn. So I really think that I'd enjoy the Parmesan garlic version of this. I really think that would be just lights out. But I enjoy this barbecue one. And I don't think it's something I'd make all the time, but this is definitely a vegetarian option that I would consider offering for catering. Number one, because the prep is easy as long as you don't cut your fingers off. And number two, it's a pretty quick cook. So I think if you had someone who was having a party and they asked about vegetarian options, this would be a nice choice for them. Because like I said, it is good. Good clean bite off the bone. I mean, come on. So yeah, I actually am surprised. I enjoy this. It's a different take on corn. And like I said, I love corn on the cob. It's my favorite way to eat corn. I think the Parmesan garlic would be fantastic. Elotes would be just, oh, chef's kiss, lights out. So a lot of different ways you could take this, make it your own. I recommend giving it a try if you're even remotely curious or think that you may like it, because I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm honestly surprised. I went into this saying this is going to be terrible. I'm not going to enjoy it, but I'm telling you right now, this is pretty dang good. On a scale of 10, I'm giving this like a 7.9. For a vegetable, it is pretty dang good. Pleasantly surprised. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, stay safe, and we will see you next time. I'm going in for another bite.